As someone who loves big cats, I'm all about Moneyline.
They help the hardworking trying to make a change in their lives.
All you hustlers out there putting in the time, man, I see you, man.
Moneyline gives you entertaining content, so it's easy to learn with personalized tools to get control of your money. Don't like getting paid at the end of the month? Get paid 2 days early with direct deposit to a Roar Money account.
Need a little help on gas or groceries? Get 0% off cash advances.
Want to get into crypto but don't know how? Use roundups to buy Bitcoin with your spare change.
Download the Moneyline app today.
And use the Roar tag $ Mike Tyson at signing up till June 30th for a chance to be flown to LA to watch a live taping of Hotboxin.
Moneyline, the fun and simple way to get control of your money.
Well, I call myself fortunate, to be honest with you. I've been, airplane crash and then
Tell me
hit
about
by
that.
lightning twice. Then I almost died 4 years ago, so
Yeah.
I was real sick. I was life support for 13 days. I couldn't walk. I couldn't pop a can on a Diet Coke.
Wow.
I lost 43
What
pounds.
was wrong?
My intestine ruptured. I was drinking.
Once it bust, what happened? Did you faint?
No, I don't remember. To be honest with you, I guess I was in so much pain. I don't remember. I was septic. I had pneumonia. I had respiratory heart failure, total kidney failure, 10% chance to live for 13 days.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike Tyson, and this is my co-host, Bash, my CEO, Chad, and the one and only Mr. Ric Flair. Now, listen, I need to know a few things. You said you started wrestling in 1972. Listen, I've been a wrestling fan. I've been watching you forever. I've been a wrestling fan before I even thought about boxing, and that's why when I'm on the stage and I'm the baddest man on the planet, I learned all that shit from wrestling. How to brag and talk. Muhammad Ali did too.
Yeah,
He did too.
sure did.
He just went the butterfly, and I went the tough, mean route. You know what I mean?
They both work.
Yeah.
They both work.
I realized life is about bullshit, talking shit. Because the guy that doesn't talk, he's just plain. People want to get in their spirit. People want to know. Wrestling was so successful because it was a soap opera for men, and that's why it became so successful. And what do we call you? Really, besides Icon, what do we call you? You survived all those years from 1972.
Well, I call myself fortunate. To be honest with you, I've been, airplane crash and then
Tell me
hit
about
by
that.
lightning twice. Then I almost died 4 years ago, so
Yeah.
I was real sick. I was life support for 13 days,
Sorry
in the
to hear
ICU for 31 days. So
How are you feeling today?
Yeah.
I feel great.
You look great.
You look great.
I came back around. I mean, it took me a couple of years literally to kick back out of it, but I mean, I couldn't walk. I couldn't pop a can on a Diet Coke.
Wow.
I lost 43
What
pounds.
was wrong?
My intestine ruptured. I was drinking, and everybody thought it was because I was excessive drinking. It was actually because I'd had what's called a bowel adhesion in a prior surgery for an appendicitis.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 1 in a million times. Trust me, I researched it for a million reasons, but mostly because I wanted to drink again. And 1 in a million times, if you've had any type of a bowel insertion, or any time with what am I trying to say, bowel correction, 1 in a million times it can bust again, and it did right there. My friend was on a plane headed back to Dallas, and I was in the ICU when he landed.
Once it bust, what happened? Did you faint?
No, I don't remember. To be honest with you, I guess I was in so much pain. I don't remember. I was septic. I had pneumonia. I had respiratory heart failure, total kidney failure, 10% chance to live for 13 days. Then I got off the respirator, and after 31 days.
Did you live different after that, once you got well?
Yeah, but I had no memory for 6 months, and that's what really was hard. I could remember going forward, but I couldn't remember anything for 6 months. They did 22 CAT scans, and they said I might not ever have my memory back again. And all of a sudden, sad for a lot of people. I started remembering
Oh, no.
some bullshit along the way.
Remember the debt, son.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember those debts? Hey, don't you owe me 500,000, motherfucker?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought I was gonna
it's
stay
worse than
fucked
that.
up, huh?
Actually, that did happen to him. And
I know. I could imagine them dirty motherfuckers out here. There's a bunch of dirty motherfuckers out here. Don't care about nobody but themselves. They're selling mother.
Yeah.
I've seen those guys.
but I see Rick now all the time in Florida, and he moves his life like he's a 30-year-old.
Look, he's always been 30 years to me, man. Woo! You know, I've seen him. You gotta see him at signings. You never seen him, man. You gotta see him at the signings.
Well, on a positive note, you have your own podcast now, right?
I do.
Want to talk about that a little bit? How'd that come about?
How long did you have it?
I've only had it now for 5 months, but I initially had one like 5 years ago, but it's hard to be in the business and be critical of people, especially with my daughter being in the business. So if it's a wrestling podcast, you got to speak if it's going to be any good, you got to tell them how you feel. And it's amazing how much attention and words that come out of my mouth as you talk about boxing, you can imagine.
Why your daughter never worked for, I don't know if I'm gonna get mad. How come your daughter never played for Don Davis? She never wrestled for Don Davis.
Who's that?
Extreme Wrestler, remember that?
No, she's with WWE. She has been all over since she started.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's a
Did you
champion.
get PFL?
PFL.
Yeah, that's
They pay more money than anybody.
the PFL.
No, I'm the guy that had the wrestler, Mr. Khan, and them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
You're talking about the
Tony.
AEW.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
AEW, yeah.
No, she's her fiance is with Tony.
Okay, cool. She should go with him, Tony.
I don't think she's getting away from the WWE.
No, I ain't letting her ass go.
She's got a pretty good deal there. She's actually wrestling now Ronda Rousey in the main event at Mania. Yeah, so
That's gonna be awesome.
that's gonna be cool. Yeah,
Tell me, how many children do you have?
I had 4.
4 boys,
Lost one.
girls?
2 boys and 2 girls. I lost one in 2013. Heroin.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
So let's talk about The Undertaker. He'll be the 4th person to be inducted in the WWE. How do you feel about that?
Well, he's special to me. I've known him, for a long time, and I don't think of anybody that has any more recognition than him, or anybody that's meant more to the WWE than Taker. I mean, he's right there with Steve Austin in terms of where if I think of WWE, I look at it now and there's a landscape that changes, yearly. But if you go from Hogan and you take Taker and you take Steve Austin and The Rock, and so few people ever attain that level. And for him to be retiring, and the fact that Vince is inducting him, the induction is pretty cool. But to have Vince do it, the only person I've ever remembered Vince inducting was Stone Cold, which was the first time you realized when the boss, who's got all the numbers memorized and how much merchandise and what the pay-per-view buy rates were and all that. And when he starts talking about Austin, I was going, shit. I'm not working for another company. I didn't realize what Steve had done. But the same would apply to Taker. It's unbelievable.
There's another guy who was a badass, too. Who was the guy that I refereed the fight? It was Michael something, Shawn Michaels.
Oh, Shawn, yeah.
Shawn.
Yeah, he's the greatest wrestler that's ever lived.
I thought I might tell you the
He's
same
a-
thing.
he's a-
I'm glad you said. I said to him, get the fuck out of here.
No,
You told me to get the fuck out of here.
No, he's the greatest in-ring wrestler of all time.
Yep.
He's
Somersault, triple salt.
Not the best talker, but
He didn't have to talk. All he had to do was
a good
wrestle.
dancer, wasn't he the Heartbreak Kid?
yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I'm
has so
kidding
much-
him.
He was a great. But
I'll give him the
He
greatest
had so
in-ring.
much. He had so much balls.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was actually.
That stuff with you and him was fantastic. That was something. That's one of the reasons that they caught up. When they were having a tough time with
He was fighting with those other.
fight with NWO and those guys. Mike in the feud with Austin and Taker, and Austin
broke all the
and Stone Cold, and Mike came in. That was great TV. It's the kind of TV you can't. It comes along once in a lifetime. You're playing it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Sean's
Sean's a hell of a talent, man.
He was just in your Evil documentary that's coming out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he talks on it a lot.
I was on a plane with Rick. I think one of the questions was like, how did you become the persona? Rick, you should kind of talk about how the Nature Boy came about.
It was one Nature Boy Rogers.
Yeah, that was first. Yeah, what happened? I was in an airplane crash and it killed the pilot. 2 other guys were paralyzed, and I broke my back in 3 places. And while I was putting myself back together. First of all, I didn't know if I'd be able to wrestle again, but when they said I could, a promoter named George Scott came to me and said we should take a look at maybe changing some things around and like starting over again. And I'd been in the business just 3 years, so I said, yeah. I said, what about looking at Rogers? So I looked at Buddy and I liked Buddy stuff, but I just kind of took, as Harley Race would say, you remember Harley? He took Race's stuff to a new level. Yeah, Harley Race was as tough as you.
He had the mask on his face thing, like the head thing.
No, that's.
He fought with Dusty Rhodes.
He did, yeah. Harley's old timer, but he was tough as shit. So you and him would get along good. We just wouldn't take you out at night to a bar.
And I'm over bars. You know what I mean? Every time I see you, you look like you're the happiest man in the world.
I am.
Every time
Yeah, I'm. Just being here with you and meeting Chad and Aristotle and I'm things are supposed to be at my age. It's supposed to be winding down, and it's just starting to really come together. I've been really lucky.
Yeah, we say, I'm not too religious, but I am. And that's just it's like God's touching you.
I never forget it. I just got it.
Yeah, it's like God's touching you.
Yeah.
That's just my
truth.
perspective of life, what I've seen in life.
Yeah, that's the truth.
He brought you here, he wants you to tell us something, teach us your experience.
For me,
I know you do. I'm gonna interrupt. I know you do, but you know how many people love you? I'm talking about like men. How many men they just love you?
I think I have a pretty good following. Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm a good entertainer.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. One of the greatest ever.
Thank you.
It's crazy because back to you is like I was at when I met Rick, I took a picture of the Rams game at where I think you were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, I think he was in the locker room or pumping you guys up.
Yeah.
No, that's when the running back from Georgia was with you.
Todd.
Yeah.
Todd
It
Gurley.
To
was-
be at TG.
Todd
It was
and I
when
were
you
very
guys, it
close.
was
Yeah.
Monday Night Football. I think it was the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, it was my
Yeah.
rookie year.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that
You guys
crazy
were
game back
54
and
to
forth.
56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old Coliseum.
Yeah.
That game was insane.
yeah.
That's a great game to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, Rick, how much did your in-the-ring persona, seep over in your real life?
Unfortunately, everything I said, I pretty much lived. That's the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
Married and divorced 4 times.
Uh-huh.
Maybe 2.8 million in alimony, and which means 2 million in lawyers' fees. It's a game, but yeah. I mean, even to this day, I just have a tough time settling down. Does that make right? Sound right? When you lived every day of your life traveling and lived in hotels, and even though I've had 11,000 square foot homes and shit like that, even to this day, I mean, I've got friends. I just like to hang out. I don't have to be anywhere like I don't have to go dancing every night. I don't have to go to a nightclub, but I gotta hang out. I like to socialize.
Sometimes I tell my wife, she don't want to hear my shit. I said, well, baby, I stay in the house. Baby, I'm a street dog. I'm not a house dog.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not that domesticated.
Yeah.
I gotta be in the house all fucking day and night.
My third ex-wife said to me one time, "What do you got in common with John Cena? You're 30 years older than he is." I said, "What have I got in common with John Cena? Let me think. I'll let you know tomorrow."
Women tell you in a minute.
Power down. The cell phone, called the front desk. No calls.
Listen, did you
Blocked
hear this?
ID.
I'm sure you heard
I got home and all her shit was gone.
Did you
She
hear
thought
this
she was
one?
buffaloing me.
Did you hear this one? Nobody wants your old ass in the club. Nobody wants your old ass.
Exactly.
And they get so mad.
I got news for them.
They get
Come to
so
Tampa,
mad,
Come to
right?
Tampa one time with me.
Oh, they get
They'll
so
love
mad.
our old ass. They do.
Nobody wants your old ass. I don't know where you go to no club. They don't
Hey,
go
and
to
by
your
the way, Mike, they still walk over to us. We don't walk to them.
Rick's the mayor of Tampa.
Bingo, Santa Domingo.
We're gonna check Tampa out there.
And that your picture? Maybe.
So that's when the rest of them gonna be in Tampa?
No, they moved everywhere, but Tampa's still a Mac Daddy city for having a good time.
Mike was in Tampa, I don't know, a couple.
Yeah,
weeks
we were
ago,
there. I saw
Yes,
him.
we did.
And he was afraid for me to drive.
Excuse me?
Remember?
I don't think
No,
you
Mike
drive
won't.
well.
Mike won't hang out with me. I've tried it 100 times. He said, he goes, "You're nothing but trouble, Rick." I said, "You're supposed to be at the Battery one night, Kelly." So he never showed me. Only in a real private dining room.
I'm just really happy that you could just still live that life.
I love it.
Where all your what do you say, contemporaries? They're sitting in wheelchairs and shit.
Shit, can I tell you? I'll be honest with you.
No, serious.
No, seriously. There's only about 3 of us left. It was me
Yeah.
from the old.
I wasn't joking.
Both the Funks and me and Hulk and
Terry
DiBiase.
Funk.
I mean, we just lost a guy
Terry
the other
and
day. We
Jerry
lost
Funk.
Scott Hall. Terry and
Terry and
Dory are
Dory.
still living. There's only 3 of the traveling world champions left.
Any of
Me,
that?
Terry,
Von Erich's still alive?
all of them except for Kevin. Kevin lives
He's
in
still
Honolulu.
around? Good.
Yeah, it's a insensitive business, but and Hulk, of course, I see all the time and speak with on a regular basis. I have 2 hip replacements, 2 knee replacements,
Wow.
10 back
You
operations.
know, wrestling started off very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous. It's street
And
guy. Nobody knows each
it's
other.
choreographed, but you don't always land where you're supposed to land or land how you're
And
supposed to land.
wrestlers get hurt more time than basketball players. Y'all get hit constantly. Y'all like football players. You're constantly getting hurt every night you go on the
And we don't
show.
make-
I don't even
we don't
think
make
it's
40.
worse.
Huh?
Yeah, I think it might be worse.
And we don't make
honestly.
$40 million a year and go
Yeah.
wham, 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 my toe hurts, so. Can't play today, I got a hip extended, whatever.
Shawn Michaels deserve $1 billion.
Yeah. Sean's a great guy. I can't say enough. nice
What
about
an
him.
entertainer, right? Some guys out here is a plain guy, but a great entertainer. It's great. Guys, he's going crazy.
That's what it's all about.
But hey, Rick, we're about to play some trivia games.
Oh,
some
shit,
Trivia
Rick.
questions through the Manscaped.
If you win, Rick, you will never in your life have any kind of follicles or hairs on your asshole
Or balls.
or your balls, anything.
Squeaky.
And you know, sometimes some people got hair by their ass, so you never have to worry about that again. And this is Manscaped, the ultimate ball shaver.
It's what I need.
The ultimate
Ultimate ball shaver.
ball shaver. So
That's
Rick,
Mike Tyson saying that.
Rick, the first question. What is Mike's nickname? A, Steel Mike. B, Iron Mike. C, Titanium Mike. Or D, Golden Mike.
I think it's Iron Mike.
There you go.
This is 5th grade shit.
Question 2. What was Mike's professional record in his first year of boxing? Was it A, 15-0, B, 14-1, C, 12-3, or D, 5-10?
What
15
year?
and 0.
Of course.
Woo!
Of course, the champ.
Oh, yeah.
Champ knows champ.
Yeah,
I
champ.
remember
knows
when you
champ.
beat, what's that guy's name you beat up downtown? The green kid. What was his name?
Mitch Green.
Mitch Green. I got nothing slides by me about Mike.
Yeah, fucking Mitch Green fucking with me when I'm high and
That
shit.
thing, the mall. How do you pronounce Masvidal's name?
Mitch Blood Green.
No,
Question.
one of the MMA guys just jumped on another guy. You guys saw that, right?
Yes.
Mazel Tov.
Yeah.
My Mazel Tov.
Who was it? Juliana.
Masvidal, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I said Mazel Tov at the cocktail bar.
No, there was a guy named Mitch Green
Yeah.
screwing around with Mike on the street side.
I think he's a born again Christian. Oh, clean balls.
I didn't win number 3 yet.
Yeah. Number 3.
You know
What animal is Mike known for raising? I think you know this one.
God, I don't know that.
You know that?
Tigers.
Yes, there
Okay,
we go.
well, okay.
I didn't even have to say. I didn't have to do
Think back to the movie.
Yep. Who did Tyson face in his first professional debut? A, Tony Tucker. B, James Smith. C, Marvis Frazier. Or D, Hector Mercedes.
The first fight.
Don't help, Mike.
I'm not helping.
I know. I think the first guy you named.
It's question D. But it does not matter. You get the box.
Oh, man.
There we go. It don't matter.
Everybody.
And
look.
Your balls will thank you. What do you win, Mike?
Excuse me.
What do you win?
He won everything.
Thank
There you
you.
go, Mr. Flair. You were the man, the myth, the legend.
There you go.
Woo!
Now you can be all fresh before you go to the battery.
Yeah.
Shout out to Manscaped. Shout out to Manscaped for giving Ric Flair
I'll
dope
have to carry these on the plane with me.
Rick, your persona, you're an icon. Like, rappers, art, like, everywhere. Other fighters, they take your swag, they use your swag. How does that feel, like, just knowing that you've been so influential to generation of people?
That's a good question. I get asked
Even though
that a
they
lot.
can't do it.
But, you know what? It's for people that didn't follow me, like my new partner, agent / partner, because we're partners in a couple deals too. Her family knew a lot about wrestling, but I got to play this. I had a link to the show that airs tomorrow, called Evil, produced by WWE.
Yeah.
It airs on Peacock, and so I was able to show her that link, and see if I could show her. It's the stuff that keeps you relevant. I think it's the most important thing you want if you're out and you're active. Like Mike is as relevant now as he ever was when he was undefeated, and I think that's what we all strive for in life. So things like this and YouTube, and where you can pull up a Tyson Holyfield, or one of his classics. I mean, they're everywhere, and I'm fortunate enough to have the same kind of a situation for myself. But to share that with people that are younger than me, that didn't grow up on me or didn't see it, that's exciting for me.
Yeah. I have a hilarious story. So right after we win the Super Bowl parade, all drunk as hell. We all drunk as hell, and we all go to Nobu, and our outside linebacker. I'm with our end.
Von Miller and Von.
Yeah. So Von. So I'm with our end. Von plays outside backer.
Yeah.
Ashawn Robinson and our outside linebacker Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
And we all go to Nobu to eat, and he has this WWE belt.
Oh yeah.
That he's carrying around Nobu.
Yeah.
And every waiter, before a waiter comes and takes our order, he says, before you take our order, you gotta hold the belt up and say, "Woo!" So
that.
So just I'll let you know how influential you are still to this day, how relevant you are still to this day.
Thank you.
And legit, we had all of Nobu saying "Woo!" right after that parade. It was a good time. Shout out to Leonard
thank
Floyd.
you.
Yeah, man. So I had to.
Yeah,
share
I was
that.
going to come out for the game too, but I didn't. I decided to watch it on TV. But I've been to a couple Super Bowls. A lot going on.
That woo means a lot of shit.
It means a lot, man. I'm telling you.
The woos,
You know what
I
I mean,
mean,
you almost get sentenced to the electric chair. You get by woo, yes, woo.
What are you saying,
I
Ty?
was saying, no, I was thinking like, you're talking about like influential, like Mike, I've got to know Mike and Rick now. That's like, it's different than, we grow up with all the different types of athletes and icons. But I always say to both of them now is like, whether you're a 5-year-old kid or someone that was 100 years old, you've either seen Ric Flair in a wrestling match or you've seen Mike in a fight.
Yeah.
And I think it's just something that's nostalgic, and staying relevant is a job. And I
Facts.
think that's what they both do. a
But
really
you
good
keep
job
us together.
yeah. And so it's been, I go with Mike to Colorado, and it's like an Aerosmith concert. We went to Colorado for a Tyson 2.0, and there was people were camping overnight, and it's just, and then people coming with telling stories. And I've seen both of them, I think, just bring back a lot of memories. for
Hey,
people.
baby, gonna make you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
That's true, though.
I break out of down city.
When he and I are together, it's bad boys. They make us feel so good.
What do you think going on in the world? What things are happening in those? Someone keeps telling me that we're not going to be able to use money in 20 years. That sounds good to you, Chad?
I think they say that crypto is going to be the new currency, and I think right now with the world and the craziest it is, it's people are either the crypto side or buying gold because no one, I was just telling Rick today, like buying gold right now is protected. It's safe. No one knows what's going to happen with cash, so it's crypto. Then we see the NFTs coming out, and we've seen Joe Biden just say that he's going to federal bring the Fed to crypto. So I just think that who knows? But one thing that we have seen is there's all these new currencies, and even with COVID, like cannabis is a currency now, right? deemed it essential. So the world's changing every
Our
second.
job is to make cannabis a superfood. That's my job, to make it a superfood. Hemp's a superfood. Why can't cannabis be a superfood? Right, Jeff?
I mean, I think there's a lot of it definitely can be. I think a lot of chefs are out there cooking with cannabis, right? So we know how passionate you are about a lot of those things. So I think that it can be.
This is true.
So Rick, I remember reading something about you getting married at Niagara Falls, and then very shortly after.
No, that was a joke. I used to tell girls in Buffalo that we could get married in Niagara Falls on the way to Toronto and then spend the weekend together and then get divorced on Sunday before I went home. That was just a joke. However, I did suggest it a few times. I may have actually done it twice, but it's not official. Maybe 6 times. It's a pretty good line, right? I'll promise I'll marry you for the weekend.
Now, really, what's Pam, Tommy Lee's wife, Pam, what's her name?
Pam
Anderson.
Anderson.
Pam Anderson was married guys on a fuck this and get a annulment the next morning. She don't give a fuck. That's why I respect her.
Yeah.
She don't care about what people may think. She would just say, fuck you, I'm out. I am going. I just married you 10 hours ago. Bye.
So at the height of your career, then it was obviously hard to have a love life, right? But have a consistent one.
At home?
Being a father, that's gonna be that's gonna be a neat trick.
I try to tell people don't understand this. I was kind of explaining to people at lunch. When I started in 72, literally, by the time I got to Charlotte, I went on a full-time basis. When I started, I never had a day off until 1989. Because the holidays were our biggest days. Christmas, 2 shots. Easter, 2 shots. Thanksgiving Day, 2 shots. You know how it goes, right? You open a present, you eat big, then you go to wrestling. Especially when I was in the South, all it was when I first got there, it was wrestling and racing, NASCAR. It was me and Richard Petty.
Yeah.
But so living in the South, that's all we did. We wrestled that's all the business was. I'd be gone when I became world champion.
Yeah.
I'd be gone for 6 months. But when I was home, I was working in the territory. So just home at night a couple of times. So it was really hard, pretty hard on a marriage. It's hard on a marriage, but it's really hard on the kids. My older kids didn't see me at all, except in the summertime when they weren't in school, because their mother raised them in Minneapolis, and I was living in Charlotte. And then when they came to see me in the summer, I was working all the time. It just was a job, so.
And then I feel my kids, a couple of years ago, my kids really started liking me again.
Yeah. Well, it's hard when you're gone like that. Now my younger kids I had a lot more time with.
Yeah.
But in the old days, we were just in the wind. I'm actually one of the few guys, if not the only guy, that ever stayed in one city his whole career. I lived in Charlotte. Ted Turner wanted me to move to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Then people wanted me to move to Florida because
You lived in Atlanta?
country. I did for 9 years. Yeah, I know.
Why would you ever do that?
I don't know. I lived at the Omni Hotel for 4 years in downtown. Right in Buckhead.
Hey, Mike.
Right in Buckhead. Yeah, I know. Buckhead was rough.
So is there any advice you'd give to the younger generation of wrestlers trying to come up through all your experiences?
Oh, just with the old saying, just do as I say, not as I did. Yeah, for me, it was a way of life, and I think the kids have a choice today. And plus, the internet is such a big deal, and social media. My God,
big advantage.
I could never. My God, I'd be in jail for shit I used to do in Buckhead. Okay, nothing bad, but I mean, I didn't. But just for fun.
It was good bad.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
A lot of people like to see the bad in that.
Yeah.
I also think that you're also a wordsmith. You'd also probably have been viral many times on social media just by. I mean, one thing you both are great at is marketing. Like the way you guys do the shit talking you did when I watched the documentary is everything you did was around shit talking and being the villain.
Yeah.
And
what just happened? I mean, we were so recognizable, especially in Atlanta, because the product was right there. TBS, Saturday night, 6:05. So we made it there, and we were in Buckhead. on Friday night the night before, and Buckhead, you know, a couple times a month. And we weren't in Buckhead, we're in Chicago. We're in Chicago, we're in New York. I mean,
Yeah.
I was at the opening of Studio 54. I mean, but I still haven't, and Brooke Shields still hasn't talked to me. Not because I haven't tried.
Just something else.
Guy says to me, he says, maybe she doesn't know about wrestling. I said, know about wrestling? I'm Ric Flair.
But even with that, like you said, the shit talk, right? Like you became like that was your persona. You think that rubbed off on like guys like Conor McGregor, Floyd, Mayweather?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Had to.
Had to. They grew up on me.
Yeah.
I think that's what we were watching. This, yeah, I mean, he was. I think even like with the World Wrestling, I mean WCW and World Wrestling Entertainment, we were talking about this on lunch. But he created the actual first groups of the four horsemen, right? And then you had
Well,
Hulk,
we
and then
got
and all these
Mike and I and the Horsemen got inducted all at the same time, 2012. Yeah, we were all sitting there going, "Oh, God, damn cool is this to be with Mike Tyson?" And Mike was going, "Man, it's cool to be with you guys." I went, "Holy Mike, did you hear what Mike just said, guys?"
Listen, I watched him talking now.
I know, we didn't
now
know.
I'm going into the Hall of Fame with them.
Yeah,
I'm a little kid.
Yeah, that's dope.
yeah. That's when I told the story about my wife asking me if I was ever going to grow up. I said, "Why would I grow up?"
I seen what it did to you. I seen
Who
what
wants
it
to
did
be
to
mature? Not me.
You. We have enough time.
I'll
to
pay
be
people to
mature.
be mature for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a quick. I'm really curious about this. You know that song Ric Flair Drip, 21 Savage.
Metro Woman.
Yeah, Migos. How did that come about?
Well, I had just gotten out of the hospital. When
Ric
I was so
Flair.
sick, I just got out of the hospital, and this agency came to me and introduced me to Offset, and it was off. The Migos weren't involved. It was Metro Boomin and 21 Savage.
Okay.
But through that, I've become good friends with Quavo and Takeoff. So we just did the thing. I had no idea how big it would be. I mean, nobody did, right? And it just took
Massive.
off.
Massive.
I mean, you know.
You know, just everybody from all races love him.
That's what I'm saying.
He's one of those guys that he says he has sayings that stick to everybody's sayings. Everybody makes something of his sayings and stuff, especially when it comes to talking shit.
I've never seen race. I have a hard time with people that struggle with that. I don't see color. I see people. So I mean, I have a great relationship with the Afro American community, as I do. I hope with the Korean and the Chinese. I mean,
Just people.
just people. Yeah, that's who we are.
People.
So yeah, I'll leave that for somebody else. I'm very happy.
And you've seen so much. You've seen Andre doing his stuff, huh?
Yeah, Andre and I are the same age. He died in '95. I drove when he first
He was
started.
young when he died, huh?
Jean Ferrer, yeah. He had that disease. They caught it on.
Giant disease, they call
Yeah,
it.
they caught it on Big Show. So Big Show was, doing real well.
Big Show's cool, bro.
Yeah, a very good cool guy.
So your relationship with the WWE today, how's that?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't work for him presently, but I wanted to be able to do stuff like I'm doing now with Chad
Yeah.
and Aristotle and some other stuff I have going on, and they were paying me a lot of money, but to sit home, and that goes back to that word being relevant. You don't stay relevant sitting home.
Yeah.
But but sometimes that's by design, because if you're out there and you're still vibrating and still creating a ruckus and still catching the eye of the public, then that they view that as holding the younger kids back, which is not my story at all.
No,
What my story now is, I'm fortunate every day to meet people like Chad. I met Chad because we got the same captain for our boats.
Yeah, we're next.
Yeah, and
we're
that's how we met. And he goes, "You want?" I
We're
got
neighbors,
something.
and yeah.
He goes, "You know Mike Tyson?" I said, "Yeah, I know him pretty damn well. I just saw him a couple of days ago." He said, "So did I." And then we just had lunch, and here we are today.
So the funny story about that is, this is how small our world is. Mike was supposed to go to dinner with me on a Friday night. He said he had the sniffles, so he couldn't go. And then the next day he comes to my boat, and everyone's watching us because it's Mike there. And I just got this boat, so I was afraid because I was gonna be on TMZ because I'm driving the boat with Mike on there, and I crashed it in front, and then because it's Mike, and this is the thing. And then I found out Rick was next to me, and I saw his boat. It said "Woo," all over the boat.
Of course it did.
And like I said, Rick does move around like he's a 30-year-old. He has like his boat's always packed. He's going to Dock Fords in St. Pete and just living his life. And I'm like, I was a big Rick fan and big Mike fan, so it's like,
Yeah,
I was just like, I gotta talk to Rick. And
Did you know the Ultimate Warrior?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What kind of person was he?
I know I can't even tell you. To me, he was real nice. I think he was. I only judge people how he treated me. He was a good guy.
He used to say that he used to sit when everybody's in the locker room, he just sits by himself.
Yeah.
He didn't sit with nobody.
Yeah. I just think he had his own personal life. Everybody's got stuff going on.
I respected him too.
Yeah. Very nice guy. He made a lot of money and drew a lot of money.
how's Vince behind the scenes?
Who?
Vince
McMahon.
McMahon.
The best. He'll tell you that.
Very generous.
He will ask nothing of you. That's the best thing I can say about Vince. He'll ask nothing of you he wouldn't do himself, and he'll pay you a lot of money to do it.
Yeah,
Very
You might
generous.
not like
generous.
it, but he'll pay you,
yeah.
and he gives you the opportunity to prove how good you are. And if you're not any good, he'll tell
Then
you
you're out of there.
hit the bricks too. He's very honest.
Yes, sir.
There's no bullshit with Vince McMahon.
Could never say anything bad about him.
You know,
He helped
never.
me and my family when we
Could
were
never.
on bottom, rock bottom.
Really? Yeah.
No, he's a great guy, and you know what? He made himself. His father
His
handled the
father.
wrestling business, but he took
took it
what
to
his
the
dad
next
had,
level.
and boy, he took it to another level, to say the least.
Yeah, so tell me, you trained with Vern Gagnon, huh?
Yeah,
He was legendary, wasn't
yeah. In the Olympics, 48 Olympics.
he? He beat everybody. You knew Jack Briscoe?
He didn't beat Jack Briscoe.
No.
No, Jack Briscoe was 31-0 his junior year at Oklahoma with 31 pins, and then he got a girl pregnant and had to. He was on his way to the Olympics, but that's all. That
He
time
was
frame.
great.
They weren't subsidizing athletes in any way, shape, or form.
I remember Killer Kowalski.
Yeah, of course.
Killer Kowalski.
No, Jack Briscoe was, when I was wrestling Jack and I was the champion, he'd tell the referee to tell me that I went out first. In the tradition, it is that the champion goes out second. So the referee would go over and tell me that Jack said that he'll tell you what we're going to do in the ring. He's not wrestling an hour. I said, that's what Eddie wanted us to do. He said, Jack told me to tell Eddie to stick it up his ass, and he'll tell you when to beat him in the ring, and then we'll go home and drink a beer. But you're going out second or first. Jack Briscoe was real tough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about Charlotte and wrestling?
I think she's the greatest female wrestler of all time. And I'm not saying it because she's my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually heard that a couple of times a day from just people that have
We
seen
gonna see
her.
a fight too?
yeah, she's fighting on Tuesday. She's fighting Ronda Rousey, and we were talking with Julianna earlier. But what's the crossover? Rick, what do you think the crossover is like from the UFC to the WWE? Because we've seen Brock Lesnar go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Ronda come in. We've seen DM Punk go to the UFC and get his ass whooped. Like, what's your thoughts on all?
I think it's great, but once again, I was talking with someone today that's thinking about doing it. The crossover is great if you can pull it off.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock pulled it off. Ronda did, but there's a couple of people that didn't.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
How could Brock
without
feel?
mentioning
Look at
names,
him. How could Brock Lesnar feel? Look at him.
he's doing great.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? He's one of the best athletes I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
He's got a 38-inch vertical jump at 280 pounds.
Wow.
He stands flat-footed and jumps on the apron of the ring. And my joke was, I don't want to be the wrestler in the ring that's wrestling him when he misses that jump and it falls off the apron. He's got a short fuse. But, I mean, Ronda's crushed it, too, so
Yeah.
it's a different mindset. I think, the first time Brock didn't like to travel, and he still doesn't, so he doesn't work full-time.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling is tough, and no matter how tough you are in your heart and in your head, traveling every day is not for everybody.
Yeah.
Beating it through the airports, catching the last flight.
I just
flying
remember
away.
this. The wrestling's fake, but the check is real.
Yeah,
The check is real, huh?
yeah.
Well, we have another special guest, Julianna here. Why don't you come
come on,
join
Jan.
us? You have to come join us.
Hey guys,
How you doing?
how's everybody doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Come on, man, you gotta introduce her, man.
Badass.
I got it.
So we're here with UFC champion Julianna Peña. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can we talk about your awesome W?
Yes.
Now you're a world champ.
Yes, sir. I am.
What's up? How you feeling?
I feel great. I'm sitting here with champ. Are you champ? Okay.
Champ.
So it's
So
5 champs all around.
I know.
Life is good.
Life is good.
Thank God. Thank you, God.
Tell me about how your training regimen, how strict was that? Talked about that. Like, how'd you prepare for that fight?
You know, I had known about this fight since March of 2021, and then I was originally slated to fight Holly Holm, and she pulled out, and so it just happened to be that the next one was Amanda, and I was super grateful for that because I'd been calling for the fight for 5 years.
Yeah.
Talking a lot of shit.
Yeah, well, I had to take a page out of Rick's book.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying. That's why I said it.
I had to start talking so I could get my fight.
Facts.
And so, but I wasn't talking smack. I was literally telling Mike the truth that has happened to me in my career over the years in the UFC. Anyways, so we were supposed to fight in August. She didn't show, and then we fought in December. So you asked me how camp was. It was the longest camp of my entire life. Anytime you get 9 months to prepare for just one single person, I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah. Oh my God. So you probably like knew her like the back of your hand.
And I
probably
still
at that
do.
point.
Yes.
Yeah. Sheesh.
So, how you been since champion? What's been going on?
Not much. I just got done filming The Ultimate Fighter.
Fire.
Yep, and I did that against Amanda, and I just got home like last weekend, like Saturday night.
Who team won?
I can't say.
Okay, oh fuck.
I can't. You're gonna have to watch the show, but it was a great show. We did awesome.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So tell me about the children and stuff.
I got a child. I have a daughter.
Oh,
She's 4 years old.
congratulations.
Yes, her name is Isa. She is. So I know everyone thinks that about their kid, right? Their kid's the coolest, but like she's super cool. Honestly, she's super chill. She'll sing at the drop of a hat. The camera starts rolling, like she's a ham, and she's awesome. She's my little best friend, my little mini me. I love her to death.
When's your next fight?
Supposedly, are we allowed to talk about it, Chad?
We're negotiating.
Oh.
We're in negotiations, but this year for sure. Sometime.
Fun fact, after the fight, the first person to call me that was screaming was Mike. I was like, she did it! He was calling me, FaceTime me right as I walked out the arena.
You watch my fight, Mike?
Yeah, I was so happy because I told everybody she was gonna kill you. I said, oh God, I said, fucking Chad, she's gonna fucking get hurt. Chad, don't do that shit. Chad believed in you.
That's right. That's awesome.
You put it down too.
So let me ask you, experience-wise, rematches. Obviously you've had rematches in your career. How did they go the second time?
The way you want them to go.
Okay. I like that.
You want them to go.
That's right.
Whatever you think about yourself, you're right.
That's
you
right.
think you're a dickhead, you think you're a beautiful person, you're right.
Yeah. Totally.
So I'm just curious to know. You guys watch film, obviously, like because we watch a lot of film. I'm
Right.
curious to know, like,
Film is cool.
Preparing for the fight. You watch film. You watch
I love film.
Always. Just that's how you learn the fighter.
I watch him to the day the contract signed, till we're in the dressing room, we're going into the ring.
Wow.
Other guys you fought?
I look at him on my tape
Yeah.
every night, and when I go to my dressing room to get prepared, I'm watching them until they call me out.
You know, one thing that I found interesting about myself and watching your career is that you had a custom motto that was with you from the very beginning. I have that with my head coach, Rick Little. We've been together 13 years. He taught me how to throw my very first punch. And, I think that that's really cool. I consider him like my cuss, you know?
Well, people need mentors.
Right.
That's what's lacking. Mentors, respectable mentors. If you have a mentor, that's an evil mentor, you're going to be evil. But if you have a mentor backing you and going to be with you to 100%. And it's all about support. It's going to be good support or it's going to be bad support.
And how do you feel about like gym jumpers, for example, like people that think that they got to go to this place or this place to find the secret answer?
I think they're prostitutes.
Yeah, right? Gym jumpers, no loyalty.
Well, listen, I don't pick up nobody because they do it. That's just what they call them. I didn't invent the name.
Right.
That's just what they call them.
Right.
Now they guess they call them hoes, but they're prostitutes.
Because what they think that coach could give them something that.
Well, they think that if they go to this place, that a lot of people.
This
for
is what
example,
hey,
if they-
listen. I'm gonna fuck him for a while. I don't get pregnant. I'm gonna fuck him for a while. I don't get pregnant. I won the championship, I got pregnant here. It's just how it goes. They just go from one to another.
Till they win big.
People used to think a lot. I would hear this in the beginning of my career. They got to go to Thailand. So if they go to Thailand, they're going to get really good. And then they go to Thailand and they come back to the United States, they get knocked the F out. And it's like, it wasn't Thailand. It wasn't Thailand. It wasn't going to this person. Yeah.
Yes. It's all about, my belief, fighting is all about how you think about yourself, about what form of dignity, what form of self-love you have. It's all about that.
Yeah.
And a lot with ego and self-persona, spirit. But that's what it is. It's just what human beings do. We compete.
Yeah.
That's facts.
We compete.
Well, you asked if, you thought that the new age guys like Connor were getting, a lot of inspiration from guys like Rick. And
Yeah.
of course they are. And of course we do. But did you, when you were growing up watching WWF, WWE, were you watching it thinking like, I got to get that kind of flair and put it into my boxing game and to build a fight?
I wasn't boxing. I was a WWF guy.
Yeah.
I was a WWF guy. And they just talk so much shit. And you waited for next week to see what was gonna happen because the guy had you so pumped up for those 3 days or 5 days. And that's what I learned, just like Muhammad Ali learned from wrestling. That's how I learned that I got wrestling, I got some scriptures, some sewers, I got some everything gospel, I got that worked out, and I used that.
Yeah, I would say for anyone, when you watch wrestling, it teaches you a lot when you're younger.
Absolutely.
Like, it's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
So anyone can always, you love the acting, you love the
Right.
shit talking,
Yeah.
and you just, you actually do a lot of the choreograph,
Right.
whether you're a girl or a boy.
Well, when I saw Charlotte Flair today and I was listening to her cut her promo and I was like, sold. Where do I buy tickets? Like, she had me, And
See,
I was like, that's so
what
smart.
it's all about. This is what marketing is all about. Once I see you, I want to see you again. When do I see you again? That's the first start. That's the start of whatever iconic stuff. When someone watch you, when can I see them again? You can become a part of them. And I knew the psychology of people. I was with Cuz, he was a scientist, basically, a hypnotist, and I knew the psychology of people. I knew the psychology of fear. I wasn't good in school, but I was good in books and stuff like that.
Like one thing I noticed about you and Rick, spending time with you, is you guys both also have master memories. I think that's a part of, and I think when you say about marketing, and I tell you this too, as a fighter, you could be the best fighter in the world, but if you can't market yourself, you're not going to get any recognition, you're not going to get paid well. So there's this technical component to it, but there's a brand component to it. The brand component gets you paid a lot more.
There's some fighters like that. They could be anybody, the baddest. They could be anybody, but they have to get a contender that sells tickets because they don't buy tickets from him. But he could beat anybody. But it's just like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, that was in our day. See, when we went back to the same town the next week, so the idea is to entertain them so much that they're going to come back the next week. Because if they don't, then you don't stay in the position you're at. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we just, I was at the right time and the right place, but that's the idea. Not with you guys, with what you guys did, but with us, because you guys wanted to have the rematch 3 months later. We were back the next week,
Yeah.
and the house wasn't the same. I mean, the guys that were working underneath weren't getting paid. It was a very competitive atmosphere, and that's why it always has been. So that's what we're talking about you and Amanda. That Dana's probably going to figure out. Well, this is going to draw money, so I'm going to have to, cough up whatever I have to.
Yeah, he said it was going to be a mega $1 million fight.
yeah,
They
there
said
you
it was
go.
the biggest
Well,
upset in sports history.
Yeah, that's right.
That's got to be worth something,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it sure does.
Oh, another question that I had, Mike and Rick too, is I don't want to fly under the radar, right? Like in the limelight, but I want to fly under the radar as far as like training. People want to see me training, and especially in the social media age, they want to see what I do jiu-jitsu and boxing and stuff like that. But like me, I want to fly under the radar. Like I don't want to show anybody that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Understand.
Yeah, but you can demonstrate training.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, social media demands that. They always want interaction, or whether you're
They
doing.
want to see the secret stuff,
what-
and
what-
I want to hold
not
on.
your
to it.
secret
never-
stuff.
I'll never-
Whether you
never.
just
Never
doing
give it all.
push-ups, chin-ups.
Never
No,
give it all.
when the
Anything,
camera's
like,
on,
just watch the mic.
when the camera's
get
on,
the
you,
feedback.
you,
Boom,
you,
boom,
you
boom.
train
It's
differently.
teasing.
Yeah.
You're teasing out.
They're training differently, but you gotta see them train. That's feeding them. Ooh, she trained hard. She knocked this motherfucking bitch out and trained her whole shit. You gotta feed them stuff.
Is that what you did? Like when the cameras were rolling, you'd like work on opposite stuff? Be like opposite day?
I don't say shit unless the camera's on. I'm quiet at home. But yeah, you have to tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah.
You have to tell them it's not just me. God's ordained me to do this. It has to be something that they can connect to, but it's bullshit. You
Yeah.
know, but it's bullshit that you can believe.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I'm struggling with now is like, I have $1 in my pocket, right? So I got all these financial planners coming at me, like all angles, you know, and they all want to take my money, and I'm like,
Okay,
do
tell
I?
you something. That's where you hire a guy like Chad.
I was gonna say the same thing. High five.
What do you mean?
Chad the champion.
I am.
Hey,
I help her.
Hey, I've been waiting a lifetime to meet two guys. One of them is John Bacard, the other one is Chad.
I know.
A
Right?
lifetime. And I
Right.
just met them both in the last 3 months.
Please, I've been helping her there for the past.
No, I
year.
mean, because
Yeah.
everybody's got advice on how to invest your money here, buy land, buy gold, buy Bitcoin, buy real estate. I mean, it's endless, the
Well,
ideas.
Chad gave me good advice. He
Yeah,
said,
well,
just hear them out, hear the offer, hear
Well,
what they have to
he's
say,
a
and I did.
millionaire and he's 35 years old, so that's probably a good game plan.
For sure.
Several
You know,
times over.
Chad and my wife was for me. If I died with money, I'd be so disappointed and stuff. I used to just have fun with money. That money was just to throw off the
No
back
shit.
of trains.
By the way-
That's a great saying.
One thing I can say.
I've paid for enough shit. I'm gonna have a good time, man, while I'm going through.
I had my friend told me, there's a Jewish brother, he said, my family and them, they worked all day, contained a massive amount of money, never spent nothing and died.
That's
Never enjoyed
terrible.
nothing, just died. And so he takes more of the money, he just spends everything.
I believe in being
People don't-
generous.
yeah.
I think as I get, anyone gets older in life, like, and you're successful, and whether it's sports or business, because business is competition. When you're in corporate America, like you're World Wrestling Entertainment's a corporation.
Yeah.
You're fighting to keep your spots.
It's Disney.
Yeah, I was 26 years old doing the same shit at a corporation, and I fucking hated it because it was politics. What I could say to you is like energy for me now as you get successful. Like you see Aristotle or Adam or people that were around. I only work around people that I like that have good energy, and that will lead to success. And then making money is fun.
Yeah.
And I think that I made money and it was not fun. And my wife's like, you're fucking miserable. I'm like, you're right. I am miserable. Then I jumped into cannabis, right? And so I think we all can create, whether you're a football team, like football teams will fail if there's no good energy. We're wrestling entertainment. You have another guy on the other side.
Yeah.
You have to have energy and chemistry. I think that's one thing I've learned from my success.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's it.
the key to success. But you just said it
Criteria.
right. It's chemistry.
Yeah, chemistry.
Chemistry is everything in our business.
Yeah.
No chemistry, nothing comes out good.
Hey, can we get her to fight Kayla?
I'll fight her.
You know what?
I'll fight
Who do you want to fight? Who do you want to fight next?
Kayla.
Amanda.
Oh, she's fighting.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fighting
this is what
Amanda
you could
next.
do. Fight Kayla, then fight Amanda next.
No, I'm
You,
gonna.
you have two titles. You fight her, just be.
You know what? This girl was talking so much smack, saying that she's gonna beat me with one arm and yada
Who
yada
said
yada.
that?
Who said that?
Amanda.
Kayla.
Okay.
Kayla said
Who
that
said
she
Kayla?
She
Kayla.
told you she was gonna beat me
She
with one arm
wrestled,
tied behind her back. This
She
broad.
was a judo
And
wrestler.
after that,
Big-
she signed her life away for 7 years of the.
that her
PFL
right
the next
there?
day. The next day. It's easy for you to talk like this when you know nothing's gonna happen with it.
Maybe your guys can have a special match with both organizations.
She
that
kinda
your
husky.
guys fight.
I mean, yeah, if she can make the weight, let's do it all day.
How much
I mean,
she
we
weigh?
could- she
How
can
much
make
she
weight
weigh?
anything.
How much
I'm
she
a
weigh?
bantamweight,
How much she
135.
weigh?
Me?
Her.
Oh, her? She fights at 155.
Yeah, she a big.
Yeah,
bitch.
she's big.
Yeah, she's big.
Big girl.
Who knows?
But that's fine. Let's do it. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
All right, so you want 35
I'm
and
35.
she's 55?
55.
Well, why don't you go 5 and she come down 10?
Hey, I'm telling you, I will do whatever. If it don't make money, it don't make sense.
I hear
If
you.
you pay me, I'll fight.
By the way-
I'll fight
By the way,
Goliath.
you have the two best shit talking coaches in the game.
I know.
You should hire both for shit talking.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask, what do you think is more important, a good coach or good training partners?
What do you mean, like people you're training with?
Yeah, like what do you think it holds more value, a great coach or great training partner?
All right, let's check. I'm just gonna have
That's
you
me with
choose.
Ali.
Sure.
All right, you're training with your training partner. You're training And I guess maybe he's a form. Is he being a form of a coach or you're just training?
You guys are just training. You're
So
sparring.
you train everything, you're sparring,
But
you're
he's
sharp.
a great sparring partner.
Yeah, he's great. You're sharp, everything, you're sparring. You have all the skills now, right?
Yeah.
Now, where do the brains and guts go?
Yeah, you don't have a coach.
Yeah, you need communication.
Right.
Communication runs the nation, but you need the right coach.
Right.
Right coach.
Right.
And different coaches, right? Like one's for technical.
No, I just think you need a coach that, like you said, good communication skills and know you. And they know you. And you trust them.
Have you ever heard of the Mike Tyson entourage?
Well, I'm honored.
No.
Tell me about it. Tell me about this shit.
Well, there was I got in a situation where I ended up bringing like 7 people to corner for a fight. I was a main event. It was my first big UFC main event. And my head coach, Rick, he was in Washington and I was in Chicago. So I showed up with all these, 7 people. And he was like, what is this, a Mike Tyson entourage? Or you got all these people?
Listen, first of all, 7 people, they couldn't be my valet. And back then, it must have been at least 15 people or 20 people, my entourage. Then we get some volunteer bodyguards off the street, so that makes it 50 people. And then some cops feel like they gotta get involved, and that's my
Your entourage.
entourage. It's just some volunteer bodyguards and stuff. You know about
You
that.
got to see Floyd's entourage.
And he's very interesting.
Yeah.
He has a
Wow.
great entourage,
Huh?
too. I've seen him in Vegas before.
Hey, when he was at WrestleMania,
But that doesn't.
they had 200 people with him.
It doesn't stress you out.
Huh?
It doesn't stress you out.
Back then it didn't.
Yeah.
Probably now we'll have my kids, and my kids freak out when they see me around cameras and other people.
Yeah.
That's why I don't hang out with no bodyguards and all that stuff. I don't worry about nobody doing anything because I don't put out that energy.
Right.
You know, I don't put energy out like that. And then if something did happen to me really stupid, somebody hit me or try to do something, I'm going to have my friends are going to be so mad.
Yeah.
They're going to be so mad. They was trying to get this guy. I said, this guy was harmless last night. They're going to be so mad. I never want anyone to get hurt because of me.
Right.
That's why I never get anybody involved with anything I'm involved with.
I got to say, when I see both of you guys, like, you guys get bombarded by people constantly. Like you said, you guys give off that energy. You take the pictures. You're nice to everybody. I think it's incredible that you guys still to this day take the time, no matter who it is, and just talk to them. I think that's the energy
You
you
know
guys give
something,
out.
Chad? You know what I found out? An entertainer, a person or a fan, they will remember you by how you treated them.
Exactly.
And I'm looking at Ric Flair, but isn't this the guy that fought
Inoki.
Inoki?
Yeah.
Didn't he fight Ali?
Yeah, but we're in North Korea there. And Ali and I made the trip over to North Korea for what
Look
they
at
call
your
the Freedom
hair,
Day.
man. You look like dude, what's the guy named the boxer? The YouTube boxer?
Jake Paul.
Oh, Jake Paul.
Yeah, Jake Paul.
Yeah, well, that was a
I heard you fight him for $1 billion.
That was a haircut that was forced on me by the management at the time.
Why would they give you that haircut?
Yeah, don't ask
Kim
me.
Jong-un look.
Don't get me going. Don't ask me. But I had a great trip with Ali. That was he and I over on a private jet. But I can tell you this: when I landed back in Nagoya, we flew out of Nagoya in a private jet. Ali and I, when I landed.
Private jets must have been scary back then.
I kid. No, not the private jet. The North Korea was scary, man.
Yeah.
They took our passports. They put us in separate cars, different hotels, and they kept me and Ali away from everybody else. So I didn't. Man, North Korea is no place I want to go to right away.
And Russia's just the opposite.
Huh?
Russia's just the opposite.
What is?
Russia. You coming to Russia?
Oh yeah, I haven't been
The
before.
first thing they say, you tired? I said, that's a little bit. Okay, you need shower and woman. The next thing you know, you're in your hotel room. This hotel suite is like 3 of these, right? By the time the guy ring the doorbell, by the time I get to the door, the fucking guy left. That took too long. So I got this big ass mega suite, and I got these girls. He said, this is your guide. They give you beautiful women guides in Russia. This is your guide.
I've never been.
Oh, you never been to Russia?
Apparently, I need to go.
Oh, shit.
I'm trying to find a guide in Tampa right now.
Nigga. Russia's another. Once you go to Moscow, you know that you're in
One doesn't have my
a
number.
different universe. Totally different universe.
Before we end the show, we do got to say that there's going to be a special announcement coming out with Tyson 2.0. Oh. Well, Rick, you could talk about it.
Well, I came here partially because I'm excited to be coming in under Tyson 2.0 with my own edibles, actually my own brand, Ric Flair Drip. Mike has been gracious enough to let me come in under 2.0, which has been
Congratulations.
extremely successful for him.
The edibles are going to be called what?
Woo bites.
Woo, boy.
Like that.
Woo! They make you go, woo!
I like that's better.
Yeah.
And we're going to show up, Mike, with you. Limousine riding. We're going to have like 19.
I can always crack Mike up with a woo woo.
Showing up dispensaries. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be hard. That's
Yeah.
hard.
It's legendary to do all
Two
that
icons
forever.
on the one product.
Give it time.
Gonna fly off the shelves.
Before we end it, Rick, Juliana, Chad, is there any shout outs you guys would like to give to any friends,
Talk to all
family,
those people out
all those
here.
people out here that'll be watching?
Just to our fan base, we appreciate it all.
Mine's,
Mike Tyson and Ric Flair have been friends for a long time.
Every day, all day.
Juliana, honored to meet you, and Chad, very honored to be working for you and working with you.
Everything
Mike,
goes up from here.
yeah. Well, I'm ready. As Pedro Morales would say, I'm ready for any kind of action.
Yeah. You deserve it too.
Thank you.
You never get what. Listen, this is what I learned about entertainment. You work for all you get, but you don't get all you work for.
Well, it's really kicking in for me lately, so I'm in a good place. Thank you very much, Mike. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
What about you,
guys.
Juliana?
Thank you.
All right. I want to thank Chad Bronstein. If it wasn't for Chad, I wouldn't be in this position that I'm in right now. Fyllo and Wisana, I want to thank them. Columbia Care, One Plant.
Listen. I'm saying thank you to the same people. Shit.
Yeah. Jones Soda and No BS. Shout out
Mike
to
Tyson said
shout
the
out to
same
all
thing.
shout out to all my sponsors that have been believing in me, and thank you, Chad, for getting them hooked up. And I can't forget Aristotle, of course.
Aristotle, too.
That's Alexander the Great's tutor.
Yeah. And I'll just shout out everyone that supports me, my wife, my son, put up with me. And then obviously all the Fyllo, Wisana, family, Tyson 2.0, Adam Wilkes, who's also here, Conrad, Simo, Fyllo, all the people. And Jones Soda.
Yeah.
It's all.
I didn't know we were covering all those bonds. I got a shout out to Charlotte when she kicks Ronda Rousey's butt. WrestleMania.
Well, there you have it, folks. We've had a super session of awesome guests: Julianna Peña, Ric Flair, Chad, owner of Tyson 2.0.
We gotta get this guy. This guy gotta be he gotta be a definite host guy. Man, he fucking quit me and play fucking football.
And my guy, Mike Tyson. This is Hotboxin. We outside. We out of here.